Alright, so today I want to do a little shopping for a Dinker ball python. You can actually go over to morphmarket.com and search for Dinker, and it'll bring up a bunch of ball pythons. And it's not really a gene per se, it's kind of an interesting concept. Essentially what it is it's a normal ball python in a lot of cases with an unusual color and pattern that really can't be explained. Sometimes you can have other genes in the Dinker, but a lot of times you'll just have like normal, classic wild type that are listed as Dinkers. And I'd say most people, when they're buying into a Dinker project, they're kind of digging for gold. A lot of people are kind of shooting for that brand new genes that's never been discovered before. And you never know. Some of these Dinkers, I'd say most of them are actually imports from Africa. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll actually take the gravid females that are full of eggs, and before they lay eggs, they'll import them, and then once they lay eggs, they'll hatch the eggs. So it's kind of like a pseudo wild caught, where you actually import the wild caught, and then she lays eggs, and then you get like a captive hatchling, and a lot of those can be really interesting Dinkers from the wild. So you never know what you're going to get with some of those crazy snakes from the wild. And sometimes I'd say with ball pythons, it's usually, I'd say, as far as the genetics of ball pythons, it seems like there's a lot of random mutations where I've seen quite a few people just kind of breed two snakes together and then they just pop out something that is totally unexpected and brand new. And a lot of times they prove it to be genetic and really awesome when mixed with other combinations. You can just like pop out a brand new gene and then start breeding it. It's pretty amazing in ball pythons. I think that's really what keeps the ball python industry alive, is all the brand new genes coming into the market. So today I want to jump over the internet and I want to do a little shopping for a Dinker ball python. Alright, so I'm going to jump over here at morphmarket.com and I actually searched through all the Dinkers over here at Morphmarket, and I picked out the ones that I would probably invest in that probably have the most potential buying into a Dinker project. And I'm actually going to start with a normal. This is what a normal looks like. And I actually looked through all the different normals to pick out probably the most normal looking normal. There's a lot of variabilities in normals. Some of them can be really bright and some of them can be pretty dark. And I'd say if you're kind of thinking about a normal, this is pretty much the color and the pattern that you'll find on a normal. A lot of times you'll have these like a Roswell gray alien head right here on top of the snake, and usually it has a pretty black background. If you actually take a look at the head on the normal, that's kind of an indication in a lot of these combinations that something's a little bit different. Usually the head is pretty black in normals. You kind of have the stripe right across the eye. Pretty normal looking head and a pretty normal looking snake. So take a look at this Dinker. Take a look at that one. And we'll compare that one to a Dinker. Take a look at this. This is an interesting Dinker over here. And this one's kind of interesting. I haven't really seen anything quite like this. This almost looks kind of like fire. How it's kind of a creamy color, except it's a little more peach, which is kind of an interesting anomaly. And if you actually take a look at the top of the head, it is pretty faded out. It's kind of an interesting fading on the head. And then if you actually look between the alien heads, you see a little bit of almost like flaming, like a yellow belly. So it almost looks like it has a whole bunch of different stuff going on as far as the color and the head stamp and the flaming. And it's kind of interesting with these Dinkers. I've actually seen someone who, I saw this table at a reptile show, and the guy's like, yeah, I found this Dinker and I proved it to be genetic, and he brought it into a whole bunch of stuff. And it this whole table full of this brand new gene. I can't even remember what the gene was. And he said, for some reason, people won't buy my new gene. And I think